and welcome to MedSynapse podcast series, where we dive deep into the minds of industry leaders and visionaries. I'm your host, Dr. Harshita, and today we have the honor of hosting a true trailblazer in the medical field, Dr. Amit Gupta. Dr. Amit is a renowned diabetologist and consultant physician. Dr. Amit, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Dr. Harshita, for the kind introduction.
Thank you, doctors. Let's get started. Dr. Amit, I believe being a key opinion leader is both an opportunity and a responsibility. So, what personal qualities or attributes do you think doctors need to really make their mark as key opinion leaders in their field?
Dr. Harshita, thank you, first of all, for having me on this very podcast. I don't think that I am that big that to be considered for this key opinion leader and thought leader, but I do have some opinion which I can share with you. I think people will find my friends and colleagues, they will find it useful their day-to-day working. So first thing that if you want to be recognized as a thought leader in the medical field, so we need to have a balance of both clinical expertise as well as some personal qualities. And these personal qualities include, one is that you should be having a forward thinking and you should be having a forward looking approach. And one should be ready to anticipate future trends as well as challenges which are dominating this healthcare scenario. So this is one. So one should be having a visionary thinking. This is one. Second thing is that a thought leader, any person must be having a good communication skill, whether it is requires a written communication or a verbal communication. So having a good communication skill certainly helps. Third is that once you are in a position where whatever you state will be looked after, seen by a lot of people, then it has to come with some integrity as well as ethical standards. So one should uphold the highest ethical standards, and one should cultivate trust among the peers, friends, and colleagues, so that whatever opinion you are giving or whatever scientific knowledge you are sharing, so people believe whatever you say. So it comes only when you are having good rapport as well as you are be holding the highest standards in ethics as well as academia.
Yes, rightly mentioned, Dr. Amit. Now, in a world where credibility is key, what are some of the savvy strategies or tactics you have personally found effective in building and keeping your influence intact within the medical community?
Dr. Harshita, as you know, the medical knowledge now is coming very fast. And, we are living in the age of AI where everything is happening so fast that one need to be continuous learner. So you need to be ready to stay for staying updated, and one should be aware with the latest research and what is happening in the clinical practice in your field. This is very, very important. Also, it is important to have build healthy relations with your peers as well as colleagues and other members who are in your community. And it is not essentially doctors; it includes the entire healthcare ecosystem. So I believe, including the patient, including the other healthcare professionals, they may not be doctors, but it is good to have a good rapport with them, so that entire ecosystem you are maintaining a good networking and meeting all the people. Also, it is important that even when you are a key opinion leader or a thought leader, you will still be following someone who you like or from whom you have learned. So mentoring as well others as well as following your mentors is also something very, very important. So no matter where are you placed in your life, so there is always you should always respect your seniors. You should always respect your professional colleagues, and there is no harm in seeking advice and guidance from your seniors and getting your course corrected whenever you need. And it is also important to contribute to the scientific literature by one means or the other. You may simply be writing some case reports, publishing some articles, writing some review articles. So all this can help maintaining your credibility in the medical.
Yeah, so coming to the next question, Dr. Amit, balancing clinical practice with leadership roles can be quite the juggling act. So, how do you manage the demands of both worlds? And any pro tips for others looking to strike that elusive balance?
Dr. Harshita, I think this is one of the very frequently asked question, and most of the people will say that how are you able to manage so many things? So I will simply say that first of all, you need to be committed for the cause. That whatever you want to do, you need to take out time for that. And it is about a responsibility. So once I would just like to say that you simply don't do anything just to impress somebody. You are actually concerned, and you really want to make a difference to the lives of people you care about. So when we talk about diabetes and we write something about diabetes, it is not about the back in the back of our mind. It is not that how many people will be getting influenced or how many people will get impressed. It is not about impressing anyone. It is about contributing to the scientific knowledge. It is about contributing to the community knowledge. So once you are doing activity from that frame of mind and you derive a sense of satisfaction from whatever you do, so you will be able to find out time. So effective time management is something which is very, very important. Also, team building is again very important. So all the time you may not be able to do each and everything on your own. So if you have your friends or you have your team can help you in doing certain tasks, then it will make your life easier. Also, we need to we need to get engaged with professional networks and actually help us in building building the support for whatever work you are doing. And again, one very important part is that one should not overlook the well-being of oneself. You should be taking care of your physical health, engaging in regular physical activity, adopting a healthy lifestyle. So one should be a leader himself, and one should lead by an example when it comes to adopting healthy lifestyle, especially for a doctor.
Yes, certainly finding that balance is crucial, doctor. Yeah, so we all know that key opinion leaders are movers and shakers in healthcare. But in your opinion, how exactly do KOLs shape the future of healthcare, and what kind of weighty responsibilities come with that influential status?
Actually, this is not about, as I told, this is not about influencing. So a healthcare professional who is a key opinion leader often feels that he is responsible for bringing a change in that particular stream, and he wants to improve the life of the people living with that particular disease. For example, if I am working in the field of diabetes, so my objective is that how can I improve the overall care of people with diabetes. So when that comes, the key opinion leaders, they are often able to identify the gaps in the knowledge. They are often able to identify that what is exactly required at the community level, what is exactly required at the level of your professional group. So they take responsibility of bringing out the best practices. So this is how they shape the research and they shape the policy. So this is very, very important. Also, they are a strong advocate of the whatever work they do. So most of the time it is a community work, it is the patient education, patient awareness, and different programs they run. Again, many of the doctors, they engage in teaching activities, and this is how they teach the upcoming doctors or the budding doctors, and they learn a lot from the key opinion leaders and thought leaders in the field of medicine. Also, as I talked about, that this is about being responsible, feeling responsible about something. So when you feel responsible, then you will uphold the ethical standards. You will ensure that your contribution is making a positive impact on the patient care as well as the outcomes. So this is how the key opinion leaders, they influence the policy, influence the development of the guide research as well as the policy. They identify the key research areas, and then they not only identify, they work to see that that particular gap is filled.
And doctor, we love a good backstory. So care to share any personal experiences or pivotal movements that played a role in your journey to becoming a KOL? And how did they shape your leadership approach in healthcare?
Dr. Harshita, I will share two personal stories briefly. One was back in 2013, and I got the responsibility of organizing a diabetes walk in one of the annual meeting of the RSSDI at Greater Noida itself. That time it was held in Greater Noida. And Dr. Rajiv Chawla, who happened to be my teacher, gave me the responsibility that you need to organize a diabetes walk, and we expect only 500, 600 people. And along with me, Dr. Saurabh Srivastava, who is a very close friend of mine, was given that task. So we had a time of around 3 months to build up the activity, and we took it on the war footing. And just before the night of the walk, Dr. Chawla was asking me that how many people do you expect? And we said, sir, let's see tomorrow morning what happens. And you will be surprised to know that it was one of the biggest diabetes walk in the history, and it was attended by the IDF President Michael Hurst. And more than 10,000 people they turned up for the diabetes walk. So during that process of 3 months, I learned a lot. Confidence which Chawla showed me at that point of time, it was my entry into the diabetes. And second example is I would like to mention Dr. Bansi Sabu, who is not only my mentor, he is also a very good human being. He himself is a key opinion leader, and he is a world-renowned diabetologist. So he guides me a lot. And one of the key projects he picked me was the Defeat Diabetes 2.0. And again, in this project, Dr. Bansi Sabu gave us, the core team was built, and he gave us the responsibility of reaching out 100 million people in 100 days. So that was a huge number if you think that counts. And so we were able to reach the target successfully in less than 100 days. And not only that, we for that 3 months, 100 days period, we conducted so many activities all across the India at different forums, whether it was online or offline. So that was a time when I really I was pushed by my mentor, Dr. Bansi Sahu sir, to do a lot of activities, and that is how one of the experience that how a mentor can help you in building up your can bring out your abilities, the best of your abilities.
Thank you for sharing those impactful experiences, Dr. Amit. It's evident how those moments have shaped your approach and inspired others in the medical community. Now, every success story has its fair share of hurdles. So, can you walk us through any particular challenges or obstacles you faced on your path to becoming a KOL? And of course, how did you tackle them head on to reach where you are today?
Dr. Harshita, let me tell you one thing. There is no path to become a KOL. If it has to happen, it will happen spontaneously, and one has to happen spontaneously. And one thing is that, for example, you need to be sure in one thing, that you are true to yourself, you are true to your community, you are true to your patients, and whatever you are doing is doing out of passion, compassion. And when you do all this, then success is bound to happen. And you will certainly face challenges. People will question you, and whatever you say may not be taken seriously as well. But if you are doing it for the right cause, and if you are doing it with the right intention, I don't think these hurdles will stay for a longer time in human life. So I think persistence is the key, and the perseverance is again very, very important. So if you are persistent in your efforts, if you are genuine in your efforts, if you are following your passion, then everything becomes easy. And this is my mantra for everyone, that I wish success to all the people who wish to become key opinion leaders, and wish them great success in their life.
Thank you, Dr. Amit, for sharing your journey with us and offering valuable insights. And also, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Dr. Harshita. Thank you.
And to our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. And until next time, stay curious and stay informed. Thank you.